Hey, what is up everyone? I know it's been a minute since my last video. Do apologize about that. Today we're going to talk about Vybz Kartel being featured in Rolling Stone magazine. Stay tuned, guys. So welcome to another Carib Fusion video. As many of you already know, Vybz Kartel was featured in Rolling Stone's magazine this month, and I think that it has been overshadowed by the other news, which is being moved from Horizon to GP, which I'm obviously not talking about because I don't know much about it, so I'm staying away from that topic. However, just stay tuned and yeah, we'll talk about why being in this magazine is such a big deal. So just a brief overview of what this magazine is. It's a 49-year-old magazine. It's an American magazine, and it typically features, artists more of the rock genre. But in recent years, it's, done magazine covers on people like Jay-Z, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Adele, and a few other people. Very few Jamaican artists have ever been featured in this. I think the most noticeable people that's been featured are people like Bob Marley. He's had several covers in that magazine. Usain Bolt several times as well. Prince Buster, which most people probably don't know. People who are younger who would know who he is, but he's actually a legend of rocksteady and ska music. Other people besides Vybz Kartel have had smaller shout outs, particularly Omi, the guy who sang Cheerleader. He's been in and his album was reviewed, and also Busy Signal in 2010 with his album, so he had a small shout out. It wasn't a feature article, but just something to acknowledge, because he was one of, at the time, a few artists who had quite a good career that was buzzing in the international space, so he was a part of it as well. So for all Vybz Kartel fan, in fact anyone who's a fan of dancehall music needs to read this article. It's very interesting, and actually some of the topics that it discussed, which I didn't think it was, it spoke about how people are now gravitating towards dancehall, noticeably people like Drake and Rihanna. It spoke about his album King of the Dancehall. One of the things that I actually didn't realize, and I'm glad they brought it up, it said that 50 tracks like Vybz Kartel releases or has released so far to date within this year, 50 new tracks, which is unprecedented. The album went on, to speak briefly about the Gully Gaza, feud back in the day, back in 2008. And it spoke about the influence that Vybz Kartel has had on dancehall today as we know it. So actually, I would highly recommend it. One interesting thing I found as well that I think maybe you'd find interesting too, I don't know. It spoke about other artists that has had successful careers in jail. People like Gucci Mane, people like Shine, and people like Cassidy. They've all released albums while in prison. It just makes me wonder why, in Jamaica it's such a big deal for an artist who is incarcerated to, record over the phone, which I'm not saying he is, but it just makes you wonder if in America it's fine. And I mean, Jamaican justice system is loose at the best of times. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. All fans of dancehall, I would highly recommend that you read this article. That is it from me for now. I will see you guys on the next video. And if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe.